Yo, what up, guys? Guy that dies here. If you don't know who I am one of the best PoE2 speedrunners in the world, with 3 demigods and a rank 1 race win. I just finished making the most insane twink leveling build I have ever seen. We basically won to 2-shot bosses on a budget. This leveling build can get you to maps in literally less than 3 hours and works on 5 different classes. You can play this on Druid, Ranger, Huntress, Mercenary, or Monk. The build is super easy to play and relatively cheap. You can do this build for less than a Divine, and if you're willing to spend a little more, you'll be able to go even faster. The way the build plays, you basically just run around throwing lightning arrows, and then for bosses, you literally just throw out explosive grenade and gas grenade, and you're going to delete bosses in less than 5 seconds. As you can see, we just absolutely deleted Doriani, and we're doing the exact same thing to Tavakai right here, literally killing him in like 3 to 4 seconds. So, let's get into the fine details. Level 1. Level 1, we have basically just unique items. We have Mist Whisper. Super cheap level 1 unique item. You can get this up for like an Exalt or something. If you have a little bit more, you can look for a Lightning Damage Corrupt or a 3-socket Corrupt. Not too important though, either way you're going to be doing absolutely insane amounts of damage. For rings, I have 2 Black Hearts. This is also not important, you can just have 2 regular old iron rings if that's what you want. I just got these because they are super cheap and super easy to get, so I may as well. Body armor, we have Tabula. This is quite expensive because of these jewels. We are looking for 2% movement speed and projectile damage on the jewels. If you don't want to mess around buying jewels and you don't want to spend the money, you can just use Fox Shade instead. Gloves, we have Northpaw. This is just a bit of damage. You could even just use some rare gloves that have a bit of damage on them. That's perfectly fine too. Belt, we have Midgenauds. Basically, this is just for the strength of cold res. The strength basically triples our HP at level 1. Super good defensive item, but also not really necessary if you're not too worried about that extra survivability. And here for boots, I've just got 10% movement speed boots. These can just be any 10% movement speed boots. Doesn't have to be this unique. I just picked this up because it's a level 1 unique that has 10% movement speed. Then, on the weapon swap, we have Widow Hail, which I have corrupted for a +1 socket, but that's not very important. You can just use any Widow Hail. Just look for something that has a high bonuses gained from a good quiver. And then the quiver we are using to go with that is Asphyxia's Wrath. Just a really good, cheap, unique level 1 quiver. So that's going to take you to around Act 2. Once we get to Act 2, around level 16, this is what we swap to. We're going to replace Mist Whisper with a Varnished Crossbow. Basically here we're just looking for physical damage, lightning damage, flat physical damage, and very important is that we have +2 level of all projectile skills. Because we're on twink gear and we have rings with crazy amounts of damage and gloves with crazy amounts of damage, the plus projectile skills here is very important. Moving on to the helmet, we get Goldrim at level 10. This just gives you a bunch of resists. Resist to nice. Rings, we just have crazy amounts of flat damage and resists where we can. Basically, we're just looking for physical, fire, lightning, or cold damage. Any of that works. Same on the gloves. Then for boots, we just swap into Wanderlust. Extra movement speed. Speed is unaffected by slows. That's always nice. And then for our amulet, we have this sure-footed sigil. Basically just so we can get extra dodge roll distance. And then for our weapon swap, we upgrade our quiver to a rare quiver with +1 proj and heaps of flat damage. And then you can also upgrade your runes in Widow Hail to regular storm runes instead of lesser storm runes. Okay, moving on to the final upgrades on our build. At level 33 plus, we get a bombard crossbow. Basically here we're looking for the same thing that we were looking for on the varnished. Physical damage, flat physical damage, lightning damage, fire damage, cold damage, whatever. You do want plus proj though. I've actually got a bad weapon here. This is a very bad weapon for twink leveling. It should have plus 1 proj, oh sorry, plus 2 or plus 3 proj. And then rings and gloves, same thing as before. We're just trying to get more damage on our rings and gloves. So as you can see, I have a ridiculous amount of flat damage on here. These are not too expensive. You can probably pick up both of these for like 10 exalts or something like that. And then same idea with the gloves, yeah, just a bunch of flat damage. Body armor, you might start to feel a bit squishy in like Act 3 onwards. If you do feel squishy, you can pick up one of these. It gives you 1,000 armor, which is basically going to carry you all the way into the interludes and beyond. And it also gives you 30% strength, which is going to give you like a ridiculous amount of life, especially because we're using Midgenauds, so they kind of stack with each other. For the helmet, we've just got Thrill Steel. If you feel like you don't need the resist from Goldroom, you can swap to this and you can get 20% skill speed and 10% movement speed. The final upgrade for the build is another quiver. Basically the same quiver as before, but this time we have plus 2 proj. We're just looking for plus 2 proj, flat damage, and maybe damage with bow skills. And that's pretty much it in terms of gear. Personally, I do pick up this at level 48, but you can just use this until whatever build you're going to swap to an endgame. I just pick up this because it's a little bit nice to have a little bit more damage in the interludes. But definitely not required. You can 100% just use that all the way through. So, that is the gear. Moving on to the passive tree. So, you can play this build, as I said earlier, with Druid, Monk, Ranger, Huntress, and Mercenary. Basically, our goal here is to pick up as much attack damage, projectile damage, damage with two-handed weapons, basically any damage that's going to apply to us. All works. So, if you are playing Druid, you're going to go through here, spell damage, attack damage, attack damage, attack damage. You can go through here, pick up this AoE, get more damage here. Attack damage here, projectile damage here, you know, there's just all this good damage. You can pick up fire damage here. Basically, you're just looking for any damage that is going to work. You don't need a lot because your gear is so good, so just pick up whatever you can. So, you know, just like search for fire damage, look for that, search for attack damage, pick up that, you know, maybe come over here, pick up this stuff, all that good stuff. Monk, same thing, you know, just go through the skill speed, pick up attack damage. Maybe you go through damage, extra lightning damage, and shock. Sure, pick up more attack damage over here, whatever. Same thing over here, projectile damage, attack damage. You get the idea. So yeah, that's the tree. Moving on to the skill gems. So we have explosive grenade from level 1, which we're going to support with multi-shot 2, elemental armament 2, concentrated area, and short fuse 1. Now, depending on how you feel about grenades, you can change this to short fuse 2 to make your grenades explode basically instantly, but you do lose a 30% damage multiplier there, so it's kind of up to your personal preference. Personally, I just use short fuse 1 because I have a lot of experience with grenades, but if you don't have as much experience, you can go for short fuse 2, and you won't have to worry about your grenades missing. Gas grenade, basically the same thing, but instead of short fuse, we use immolate. For people who are wondering how this works, it says supported skills can knock ignite, but supported attacks gain 30% of damages extra fire damage against ignited enemies. The way we get ignite is from explosive grenade, so explosive grenade is going to explode, and then the enemy is going to be ignited, and so gas grenade can do more damage. Then on our weapon swap, we have lightning arrow. You don't actually have to worry about setting your weapon set swaps or anything like that, because it automatically does it because we have a crossbow in one weapon set and a bow in the other. But we're using multi-shot 2, elemental armament 2, vault, and innovate. And then Herald of Thunder, I don't have any sword gems in here, but we would have elemental armament and elemental focus. And then one more gem that I don't have in here, we would have flash grenade. Let's see if I can just bring that up for you in a sec. Yeah, so we would have flash grenade, this one here. And we would support that with multi-shot 2, stun 3, and that's the main thing. And also cooldown recovery 2 would be a little bit helpful. So that's the skill gems. Again, just going over how to actually play the build. And basically, you're just going to throw out explosive grenade and gas grenade on bosses. And for clear, we are going to use lightning arrow and flash grenade. Super simple stuff. Hope you guys enjoy the build. I'm streaming daily on twitch.tv/guy_that_dies. Coming up, I'm going to be doing a increased item rarity test with around 1,000 maps. So if you want to learn about how item rarity is actually affecting your item drops, come check it out. And I am going to be doing a twink run with this build on stream very soon, so go check that as well. Anyway, that's me. Peace out.